Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, where today we're doing the TFC podcast. We've got 4 games to go through. Basically, we've kind of changed the way we're going to do this. We're going to have 4 games. We're going to have 1 game from outside of the English leagues, and then we're going to have 3 games in the Premier League.
And you didn't hit 10,000 likes, so Harry isn't here again.
Yeah.
We've still got to hit that 10,000 like goal. Oh wait, no, I thought it was 10. Let me go check. Has that hit? Because
I think it was 10,000. I think it was.
Harry.
It was 10,000. It was 10,000 likes to build a studio. 10 likes to get Harry.
Okay, I'm now watching the last podcast.
3 views.
It is 3 likes. Harry, no, you're not coming on until we get 10.
Okay, leave a like on this video. If this video gets 10 likes, then we're going to absolutely, definitely force Harry to be in the next episode. And if you don't see an episode come out next week, then you know why. Please go follow the TFC podcast on Instagram. We've only got 13 followers. Please go follow. Yeah, but you will be doing some, especially this week, throughout this week, we're going to be doing a lot of interactive things where you guys can basically tell us what you guys want for the next video, and also just general football things. So, should we get into the first game, which is Leicester versus Liverpool? Liverpool snatched it in the 95th minute.
Liverpool were very lucky. That was not a penalty. It's very controversial.
Yeah, it was very controversial.
3 sentences.
Another very controversial decision. The Leicester manager, Brendan Rodgers, said that the defender made most of the contact. So, there you go. I think there's a lot, especially at the moment, there's a lot of different debatable subjects in football at the moment. VAR, and just dodgy ref decisions. I guess you could call them dodgy, but I mean, the more formal way of saying it's debatable. But, yeah. So, Liverpool did snatch at the 95th minute with a James Milner penalty. And did you see that it kicked off, like, who was it? Was it Ayuso Perez?
Perez was
he was fuming. He was absolutely fuming. I mean, I wish I could play the clip, but I'll probably get claimed by Sky Sports, so I can't play the clip.
Yeah, and then we make absolutely no money. We won't make 1p, we'll make 0p.
Not that we make any money from the TFC podcast anyway.
We do, definitely.
Yeah, but if you guys, if we start getting views, like loads of views, we will make money. Please, please share with your mates and make sure. Wait, what?
Watch the video a lot. Just like we're just gonna watch it repeatedly.
Yeah, just carry on. Yeah. Basically, watch the video again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. About 10 times. And if everyone does that, we hit 100 views. Thank you. Well, probably more than that, actually, because we get more than 10 views normally on a TFC episode. But anyway, we only have a little bit more time to spend speaking about the Leicester-Liverpool game, so,
Mane dived.
I think there's a lot of things when you look at the exact, like, the whole game as a whole, but because we've got such a short space of time, I don't think we should dive too much into it. But obviously, Leicester and, well, a lot of people say that it was not really a penalty. So, with a debatable decision like that and a game-changing decision, it's always going to be debatable, basically. Because it's always going to get analysed by, like, footballers and like, basically everyone in the footballing world, if you'd like to call it, will look at that and give their exact analysis on it, and at least one person's going to disagree with the decision.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, I mean, I guess the main part of that Leicester-Liverpool game was the penalty, and we've already spoken about that. So let's move on to the second game, which is Manchester United 0, Newcastle 1. St. Maximin played well as well.
Oh, what a win for Newcastle. Jetro Willems, is that his name? Played outstanding. Matthew Longstaff on his professional debut for Newcastle scores against Manchester United.
And his brother is proud. Sean Longstaff. That must be so strange playing like with your brother at the exact same club, playing for your local team.
You're playing next to each other on the pitch as well. And
Yeah.
I think Sean Longstaff was linked with Manchester United as well this summer.
But St. Maximin was another good Newcastle player that game. I think the whole Newcastle squad played quite well that game. I mean, to beat a team like Manchester United and being a team like Newcastle, that's a huge boost for their player morale. And also, it's reassuring Newcastle fans that Steve Bruce is better than Rafa Benitez, even though he probably isn't. But it's giving them a little bit more confidence in their team and in their manager and their staff.
Yeah, Dubravka deserves some praises. He made multiple game-saving saves and really kept them in it at times.
Yeah, I think just generally from Newcastle, it was just a good game in general. I don't think there was one player for the Newcastle team that was at fault. However, let's switch over to the opposition, Manchester United. Now, there was a lot wrong.
Oh, it's terrible. This is a misery compiler, to shout out Spencer Owen. It's tragic. Like, there are things that are going on there are just awful. Like, Man United are in tatters.
I think, yeah, and players like De Gea, for instance, like, what the hell happened to De Gea? He keeps making mistakes, and it's all really going downhill for Manchester United, even though I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just slowly losing grip of the club. A bit like Jose Mourinho did. Like, they've got the exact same issue now as they did with Jose Mourinho, like, a year ago.
Allegri's coming in. Like, Solskjaer gone by December. Allegri comes in. He's got the January transfer window to sort out that shit show of a team. Maguire must be very sad because United playing shite and Leicester are doing quite well.
I mean, then again, he's laughing, isn't he? I don't actually remember his exact wage, but he's got to have a really good wage, surely.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of football, an England international should not be 2 points above the relegation zone.
Yeah, I think, basically, I don't want to get back into this, but Maguire was an absolute rip-off. 80 million for Maguire. He is not worth that. I don't get...
But just like looking at players they could have signed instead in terms of the centre-back role, they probably could have got like Jimenez or Alessio Romagnoli, maybe even Rafael Varane, maybe that's pushing it, Nacho Fernandez, Koulibaly, players like that for roughly the same amount of money, but
and
Maguire's
so much
homegrown, so he must be good.
It's ridiculous. And Wan-Bissaka, I don't really know, you don't hear that much about Wan-Bissaka, but I don't think he's playing terrible.
No, you didn't hear much about him, though, at Crystal Palace. He still puts up good numbers. Tackles are still high. Interceptions are still high. He's just, like... He's always good. But when Man United can't score a goal, it doesn't matter how good their defence is, because they're not going to score, so they can't win.
I think the issue with Manchester United is they've tried to do the exact same as Chelsea and just whack in a load of youngsters. However, it's not really working as well for Manchester United as it is for Chelsea. Because whereas with Chelsea, they have like players that they kind of knew were decent, that were young, and they could just put it into their team. However, with Manchester United, they've all of a sudden brought up these players like from the youth academy and just go, please play. Like, I don't really think there was much kind of developing of the player. I mean, obviously they're good, but I don't think they quite were used to playing in this kind of atmosphere, and it's so much different than playing youth football, obviously.
And there's so much more pressure, whereas with the Chelsea lads, it's all like, well, if you mess up, then, well, you're the only option we had, so you can't really blame them. But with the United lads, if they mess up, they're going to get replaced.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them, especially for a club like Manchester United, because Manchester United's past is
so
really...
history.
Yeah, their history, Manchester United history is really, like, they're known as one of the biggest clubs in the world. Probably not by footballing now, but they're probably one of the richest clubs in the world. So, if they really didn't like this youngster, they could probably replace him with an 80 million player. 80 million player? You get what I mean. Norwich versus Aston Villa. What the hell happened to Norwich?
They've been so shaky at the back. And Josip Dermich, of all people, scored for him. Like, Josip Dermich, like, he's been shocking in Germany. I don't know why we got him anyway. He comes in, and he's had no impact all season, and yet he's the only person that scores against Villa.
I mean, Norwich, I don't really know what's happened to him, though, because Norwich, how do you beat Manchester City and then lose 5-1 to Aston Villa? That's not even like it's like 2-1.
You can't say they're good because they beat Manchester City. That
No,
was a fluke performance.
however,
they played well that day and they won. But that doesn't mean they're a good side.
Norwich have proven themselves to be a side that can play good football. Last opinions on Norwich versus Aston Villa. Don't really know what happened to Norwich that game, because we know that Norwich can perform better and can score more goals with Pukki, etc. However, Aston Villa must have played decent considering, I mean, I don't think Aston Villa have scored that many goals in the Premier League in absolute years. Like,
they're
definitely
we're good.
For tens of years, probably.
No, they used to be a good side, a well-respected side, but not anymore.
Okay, now we've done our last opinions on Norwich versus Aston Villa, let's move on to the last game, which isn't actually in the Premier League. It was Inter Milan versus Juventus. Inter Milan lost 2-1 to Juventus, and Inter Milan were also at home. So, loss for Inter Milan. However, Juventus are a massive club, even though EA haven't got their licensing. Instead, it's Piemonte. Fun fact.
Piemonte Calcio. Woo, they're not top of the league. It's very disappointing because Inter have been completely flawless this season. And it took one bad game for a lot of their star players. And they're not doing as well anymore. It's annoying that we lost to Juventus. Lukaku, though, won't want to see this stat. He plays 40% of his passes against Juventus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I always knew Lukaku was absolutely,
like,
as soon as Lukaku moved to Manchester United, he was shocking.
It's Inter's first loss of the season, 2-1 at home to Juventus. Very annoying because they've won all their other games. Lukaku misplaced 40% of his passes, which is very bad, very bad. And it'll be annoying because it's the Derby d'Italia, and we should be hoping to win that if we really want to win the title this year.
Yeah, I think that kind of game is a huge game in that kind of league. I think it's the equivalent to kind of Manchester City versus Liverpool in the Premier League. So, I mean, for Juventus to win that was a key game for Juventus, as the Inter Milan have been doing better than them, I think, this season. So...
Oh, yeah.
So Piemonte are not fully playing their best. So guys, I'm going to have to do a voiceover for the outro because my phone ran out of battery while we were calling each other while recording this TFC podcast. So anyway guys, thank you for watching the video. Please go follow the TFC podcast on Instagram. It's up on your screen right now. So please go follow that if you do have Instagram. If not, then please make an Instagram account and follow it, because we're desperate for followers. We've only got 15 followers as of recording this video. So please go follow the TFC podcast on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. My next subscriber as of recording this is my 110th. So yeah, thank you for that. And use code RealGM19 in the Fortnite Stormbank. Anything in the item shop, and also the new season's coming out quite soon. So make sure you buy that with my code, or at least someone else's code, because it majorly supports them. 950 V-Bucks up to like 2,000 for the battle bundle, so it helps the creator a lot. So please use my code or someone else's, but please use my code in the Fortnite store. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.